Hey, sorry about that, getting close to your face like I always do, guys. But anyways, what's going on? And once again, ladies, gentlemen, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and fangirls especially, this is the one, the only, of course, Mr. Criticism Guy 2009, aka Nintendo Solely Free 2011, and of course, Nintendo Game Guy 360, back again with another Fantasy Fight Series versus review. Versus series review, however you want to pronounce it. So, one small little update. Most of you people know I got this little Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube thing or whatever, DeviantArt. So I made these other little things. They're in little paper maches right now, but I will get to them later, so be on the lookout for that. I might make this a two-part video, just saying, just putting it out there. So without further ado, let's begin. So Godzilla. Like I said, in honor of the Pokemon Ruby Sapphire remakes, like I said 2 weeks ago when I made the other video, when I did the third generations versus Godzilla, because first and second I didn't do, like I said, there weren't that many extremely powerful Pokemon. You could count Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and mostly Lugia and Ho-Oh to fight Godzilla. Mostly those two, because they're as big as Godzilla, but they still would get their wings crushed like hell if they fought Godzilla, and they'd pretty much be dead, more than likely pronounced dead, if they fought Godzilla. So that's why first and second generation I excluded them, because there weren't that many strong ones, and I was looking at my calendar, I was like, what the fuck is moving? Because I have the fan up on the ceiling just in case you can't hear it. Ceiling fan, however you want to pronounce it. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to be doing, after the fourth generation, I'm going to be doing the Unova Pokemon, which is going to be Reshiram, Zekrom, and Regiram, however you want to pronounce it, and Kyurem, or Kyurem, however you want to pronounce it, and then the black and white Kyurem versus Godzilla. That's going to be the next one. And then finally get to the Kalos one, which is Xerneas, Yveltal, Evital, however you want to pronounce them, Yveltal, I don't know, or Zygarde. You know, and maybe the other one, Volcanion, because he looked extremely powerful. He's not an official Pokemon, which is sad, but he's one of those legendary event Pokemon you have to get in the Wi-Fi thing or something, which unfortunately I'm not able to obtain because I don't have the X and Y games. But if I ever get them, I will be sure to do an unboxing video on that on my Nintendo Freak 2011 channel. Nintendo Sony Freak, however you want to call that. So without further ado, let's get this bitch started. Sorry for all the clapping. And yeah, let's begin. Let's go get it and begin. Let's get this shit started, excuse me. So Godzilla, the first one he's going to go up against, I'm not going to tell you any of the stats, you can just check out my older video of how strong and powerful he is, and let me get my sip of water. I'm pretty much going to be drinking this a lot, so bear with me, because I talk a lot. So yeah, Godzilla, what can I say about him? You know, pretty much, obviously he's the king of the freaking monsters and dragons of the kaiju, Japanese type of series, monster movies or whatever. I thought it was decent. He was good. I wasn't never really a huge fan of his movies. His shows was meh. It was alright. The only fanboy way I was like actually a fanboy Godzilla was all the 80s and 90s and early 2000s PS1, PS2 games that came out for Godzilla. I was a huge fucking fanboy for all the video games that Godzilla was. Even the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo ones. Believe it or not, they actually had those. It was in 8/16-bit way back in the day. Of course, all these CGI 1080p shits are a lot more graphical and HD is a lot better looking because You gotta obviously realize, people, this was older times. 80s and 90s, when it came to technology, it was a little bit, how should I say this, not obsolete, but I will say it was a little primitive at that time. With 80s and 90s with technology and the internet, it was very fucking primitive. And until the 2000s, mid-2000s, that's when it started getting a lot faster, the way that we know the internet today. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Oh, speaking of which, one more other small update. I'm going to be doing the top 50 alternative media stories of all time. Top 100 altogether, because I'm going to do the first part as 50 parts. The other part, I'll be doing another 50 parts. That's going to be later on. Be on the lookout for that, people, because I'm going to be so fucking happy when I do it. Today, I'm going to do the first top 50, and the other half, I'll do the other top half 50 alternative media wide awake truther news next time, tomorrow, Sunday, which is Saturday, currently afternoon, 4:30 on Pacific time as I'm doing this video. So it might be old, might be new. Who the hell knows? So only time will tell, right? Right. So, I'm wearing this LA hat. I've been wearing this like 2-3 years on my Nintendo Freak 2011 channel or my Criticism Guy. So, this LA hat, I had the New York hat 2 months ago. But I love the cool-ass Los Angeles logo. It looks just as cool as New York, even though I'm a New Yorker myself. But, hey, LA looks pretty fucking cool too, I'll admit that. But, other than that, let's keep it moving. So, pretty much, Godzilla, he's pretty much the king of kings, god of gods in the freaking monster kaiju monster films. Like I said, I was a better fanboy of him in the video games than I was in the movies. I didn't care too much for those. The old school TV shows, the 70s, 80s, they look meh. They look alright. The video games is where I really like Godzilla the most. And the arcade fighting tournaments, like Rampage games, fucking epic as hell. Boss is shit. I love the hell out of him. And let me think what else. That's pretty much all I gotta say about Godzilla. Let's get to the Pokemon now. The first one you probably already seen if still going. Let me check. Hold on. It's cresellia right there. I'm going to get to cresellia later. The first one I want to get to is Palkia. Palkia, however you want to say it. I've always called it Palkia. I always used to call that Lugia's cousin because it reminded me a lot of Lugia for some reason, but as a dragon type instead of a psychic flying type, which I'm surprised it wasn't water psychic because it learned a lot of water type moves. That's a little weird, you know. I'm raising my suspicion with that, but I'll let Game Freak slide. But other than that, yeah, Palkia. That's how I used to call it. I don't call it Palkia. Palkia is how I said the pronunciation of the name. So yeah, obviously, what can I say about its design? Obviously, it's huge as fuck. I think it's about 10, 15 feet tall. Even though it's tall through regular humans, even though Godzilla's about 600, 700 feet tall. A lot bigger than Palkia, but you know what? He stands a fighting chance. He's still in the reptilian, like, dragon, you know, brethren kind of thing or whatever. Not Illuminati, Freemason, shit. That's a whole other thing. But, yeah. He's in that reptilian dragon family, like how Godzilla is, because he's a reptilian dinosaur. So in a way, Palkia is a legendary dinosaur, but he could rift through space and time. Well, actually, no, dialaga, I'm going to get to him in a minute after I'm done with Palkia. So obviously, what do we know about him? He has a special attack move called Special Rend, which to this day, this is still his signature move. No other Pokemon can learn this. Even in the Sinnoh generation, when it was 07 to 09 was real hype, and then the year before 2010, the Japanese Black and White came out, this fucker is huge, ginormous as fuck, literally. The biggest fucking thing to hit Pokemon in the 4th generation when it came out. I was about a senior at that time when I was in high school, so about 17, 18 when the shit was big. So about, let's see, 19, 20, 21, 22, 6, 7 years ago. It was a while back, I know this. And of course 2009, that was about 4.5, 5 years, take it, give or take. And that's with Giratina. I'm going to get to him later on too, but let's talk about this for now. Oh, side note, I didn't add every single legendary because the small baby ones like Manaphy, Phione, Mew, who else? A couple other ones, which I'm not thinking about at the moment. The Azelf, Uxie, Mesperate, the Lake Trio, I didn't add any of those because they would get demolished to shit if Godzilla were to fight them. They would be dead within seconds. Godzilla just crushes them on his big-ass foot, and boom. Azelf, Azelf, we want to say it, Uxie, however you want to say that, or Mesperate, or a lot of people call it Mesperate, but I like calling it Mesperate. They will be demolished in seconds. Even though they got the psychic powers, they could probably destroy them from the inside. There's no way in hell they'd be able to do it in time before Godzilla destroys the fuck out of them. So that's why I kept all the small little pixie legendary Pokemon. I kept them out of this. I just kept the big giant ones. Oh, and another side note, I know Arceus can kick the shit out of Godzilla because it's a god, just like Godzilla, but it has a lot of psychic, natural, super being, spatial, like creation, destruction type of powers. So that's why I left Arceus out of this, because he would literally slice the living shit. Slice Godzilla into pieces and make him into a baby duck or something, because he's God in this game, obviously. He's the Alpha and Omega. No quote for Alpha Ruby, Omega Sapphire, Alpha Ruby. The new game's coming out in November, 21st. I know that's a fact now because E3 told it on the GameCube and shit. But rambling now. I'm just going to stick to this and no. The reason why Palkia, he's so powerful is that he's extremely huge, you know. It's a water dragon. The second one we got. Kingdra was the first one we had in 2nd gen. 3rd gen we didn't get any. We got Dragon Psycho, Latios. 4th generation, this is when we got the second water dragon type. He was really good, cool, unique in its own way, special ability. He knew the pressure ability. A lot of them did at that time. 4th and 5th gen. 6th gen, they finally started getting their own special abilities, like Geomancy for Xerneas and what was the other one? Deathwing for the other one. I forgot what the other one was. Dark Aura for powers up fairy and psychic types, obviously. But yeah, sorry if I'm getting a little paranoid. I'm hearing noises in the back, whatever. Let me get this drink again. You know the deal. Good ass shit, I'm not gonna lie. Purified water, but it's good. That's why it's drinking water. Yeah, so other than that, what I will say is that Palkia would be a huge threat to dialaga. Palkia would be a huge threat to Godzilla because, you know, Special Rend, he could turn space around, so he could probably make gravity fall out into outer space, make Godzilla fall out of the orbit, and pretty much destroy the fucking shit. Because I don't think Godzilla could breathe in the air and space. I think that's a proven fact. Maybe Mecha Godzilla because he's a machine, he's a monster, he's an android, so he doesn't have human lungs. He doesn't have to worry about oxygen in the outer space and dying like Godzilla would. No shit, obviously, right? Am I right? Am I right? But other than that, another reason why he's cool as fuck with Palkia is that he had the shiny version of him, which was cool as fuck. I think it was lightish purple magenta, and the shiny Palkia. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, he was able to learn a lot of Dragon type moves. He could learn Draco Meteor. He can learn Dragon Claw. He can learn Fire Blast. I think, even though he was a Water type, he was still able to learn that for somewhere. Aura Sphere. That would crack every fucking bone in Godzilla's body if Palkia pretty much put an Aura Sphere fist to his gut. He would be fucking dead within seconds, literally. So there's that. And then as far as defense, I think his defense is alright. Special defense is decent, it's alright, it's meh. Special attack is huge. He's more of a special attacker, so the special attacks he'd be throwing at Godzilla would be fucking bad. It would not be a good sign for Godzilla. He'd be dead within seconds again. Attack might be decent, but it's mostly a special attacker. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not a competitive battler, but I know about it. The UU, OU tier type of shit, NU, Ubers. I'm aware of it. I'm just not really crazy about it that much. Speed is pretty fast, so Spat, he could pretty much outspeed the shit out of Godzilla and pretty much kill him in seconds. That's Godzilla versus Palkia. Now let's get to dialaga. Some people say it dialaga. Fun fact, dude, dialaga in Spanish, I think a lot of Puerto Ricans, such as myself, used to say it back in the day. Dialgo's kind of like dialgo or some shit like that. Dialgo or something. I think that meant fucking hell or some shit. Like, goodness gracious, you know. Something you say if you're stressed out, dialgo, like that. That's how you say it, but it's dialga, not dialgo. That's the only difference. There's not an A at the end, there's an O at the end. They always say dialgo, that type of shit. I don't know. If you're Puerto Rican, you probably know what I'm talking about. But other than that, shit, what can I say about dialga? Obviously, if he's got his primal form, how many people have ever played, what was it? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I know that's what it was called. Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, Floral Sky. I played that one. Floral Skies, or Explorers of the Sky, there. If any people have ever played Pokemon Mystery Dungeons Floral Sky, you know what I'm talking about, or any of the other Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, because usually that's Primal Dialga or a Primal Lugia Ho-Oh. That's what made it huge as fuck. This thing was a fucking beast. He was 10 times bigger than what Palkia is. And I always wanted a Primal Palkia. That would have been cool as shit, but they only put Primal Dialga because with me, in my personal opinion, I was never really a huge fan of Dialga. It was cool. He was the first Steel Dragon to ever get a Steel Dragon type ability or element, dual type. That was cool as fuck. His own little special attack was Roar of Time. Roar of Time. I know that was huge as fuck. To this day, it's still his signature move. No other Pokemon has dared to touch this ability attack except for Dialga. And pretty much the way he can destroy the living shit out of Godzilla, all he has to use is one Roar of Time, obliterate the crap out of him. Maybe if he reverses time far enough to when Godzilla was a baby, because, you know, Dialga's eternal. He's almost like a demigod almost. And he could pretty much destroy the living crap out of him by reversing him. Never to wish that Godzilla was born. He could pretty much turn time and backwards in reverse. And when he gets him as a baby, he could pretty much step on him and destroy the fucking shit. Splatter all his blood, guts, brains everywhere out. And Dialga's pretty much the winner after that. He doesn't even have to lay a finger on Godzilla. He just reverses time, and boom. Pretty much he can destroy the crap out of Godzilla any day of the week. And yeah, there's that. So obviously it's defense. With a lot of steel types having very high defense and special defenses, it's going to have real high stats in that. Special attack is going to be huge. Attack, it's probably going to be crap because it's physical attacks. They're not that great, even though it is a legendary Pokemon. A lot of legendary Pokemon, obviously, they're going to have really perfect ass stats. I will say this, its speed is very fucking slow like Dialga. Like Palkia's speed is faster because he's water and dragon, and a lot of water types, they're usually fast as shit, especially in the Rain Dance when they get that Swiss Wing team up. They are speedy as fuck, so they're hard to fucking hit. So he's reverse opposite. Dialga's opposite to Palkia, because Palkia, he's fast as hell. But Dialga, he is slow as fuck. Because he's a steel type, that's kind of a disadvantage. When he's trying to get first turn, he usually gets the second turn more than he does with the first turn. So that's the only disadvantage. If he's not fast enough to use Roar of Time, then Godzilla would probably destroy the shit out of freaking Dialga. He'd probably break his neck and his back, break all the steel bones in his body, and crush him. If he's not fast enough. If he doesn't use Roar of Time quick enough, he would be gone within a matter of seconds when Godzilla's big giant plasma beam, his ice beams starts hitting Dialga, or physically he starts hitting Dialga, he's fucked. But if Dialga's fast enough and he's able to use Roar Time, go right back in time and reverse him to when he was a child baby Godzilla and step on him and destroy the shit out of Godzilla, splatter his brain and his guts and his blood all over the place and his bones, then Dialga's the winner. So it's a vice versa thing, you know, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't type of situation. So yeah. Third one I'm going to get to is Giratina. Both of the forms too, not just alternate form, the origin form too. Origin form, obviously he would kick the living bejesus out of Godzilla, no doubt about it. He could just send him into the, forgot what the world was called. Distortion world, yeah. He could send him into the distortion world and pretty much not let him breathe or nothing. Because there's no air in the distortion world. You'd be dead within seconds. Giratina's the only one that's able to live there too. There's no other Pokemon reversed in there. It would be kind of weird. So distortion world's obviously like purgatory or hell. If you're bad, you get banished to the distortion world, aka hell in the Pokemon world. Of course, they're not going to call it hell because, you know, it's a childlike, you know, animation. Even though I'm an old, grown-ass man in the mid-20s, I still love the fuck out of Pokemon no matter what. I don't care what none of society has to say. Fuck off with society. I don't give a shit about them. They can go fuck off. I don't care. They're entitled to their opinions, but they can fuck off too. I'm just saying, you know. But here's the thing. With Giratina, its alternate form, I don't think you'd be able to stand a chance. I know it's a ghost, dragon type. Can't get hit by any physical moves, so Godzilla slamming its tail in front of Giratina or hitting its like big giant claws into Giratina, that isn't gonna fucking happen. Period. So yeah, its origin form, he has a lot more of a better advantage because he's a lot faster. Its stats, I think they're reversed because in his alternate form, his speed is really crap. I know that. His attack is really good. I know that. Special attack is perfect. Defense isn't that good because just like dark types are really shitty with defenses, ghost types, they suffer with a lot of defense fails. Special defense is decent, it's meh, it's alright. Its attack, special attack, and I know its speed, and its origin form is bad fucking ass. I don't know if its attack, special attack, no, if its defense, special defense might be stronger since it's in an origin form. A lot of its stats are raised way higher than it is in alternate form, so all of its stats are probably going to be perfect except for the fact of its attack, it might be crap, but the rest are going to be perfect as fuck. So yeah, he's pretty much got a better advantage in his origin form than he does in his alternate form. So yeah, that's Giratina versus Godzilla. Let's get on to the next one, which is Heatran, or Heatran, as some people like to say. Heatran, I kind of had a hard decision thinking of what in the heck is going to be doing. Let me just check my time, how long I've been ranting and discussing things. 18 minutes almost. I'm going to try to do this under 30 minutes, so 12, 13 more minutes, I'll be out of your hair. So, let's pretty much say that Heatran, like I said, I had a little bit of an issue putting him in here, but he is huge as fuck. He wasn't the Arceus thing. He was able to kick the crap out of Arceus in that Arceus movie, which I forgot what it was called. But, yeah, if he was able to kick the crap out of one of the godlike Pokemon and the strongest legendaries in the Sinnoh region, 4th generation, he shouldn't have no problem kicking Godzilla's ass. One would think that he wouldn't have any disadvantages towards Godzilla, but you'd be wrong, because Godzilla, in a way, he could pretty much crush him like Heatran, like a fucking crab on a fucking stick at Red Lobster or something, or Chili's or some shit. I don't know. I'm trying to be funny, you know? Comedic prop, you know, haha. You know, you're supposed to laugh. If you don't, you know, it's fine. It's all good. I'm not a comedian anyway. But I will tell you this, Heatran, the only disadvantage I could see him having, if they were fighting in a volcano and really burning hot lava, which I know Godzilla is really bad against stuff that's with fire most of the time. If he was to fall in the lava and like Heatran was in this lava, burning fire and a burning sun element, Heatran would probably win over Godzilla because due to the fact that Godzilla is really bad if he gets burned or touched by lava and magma, Heatran would pretty much obliterate the shit out of him if he was going to use Magma Storm, Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Flare Blitz, Fusion Bolt, Fusion Flare, if he's able to learn that, I doubt it. And another fire type move, which I'm trying to think, I don't know, Fire Spin? If he was using any of those fucking hot-ass fire type moves, Godzilla would be obliterated and crisped within a matter of seconds, gone. Godzilla would be dead within seconds if he got touched by any of Heatran's fire type moves. The disadvantage with Heatran, just like Dialga, it is very slow as shit because it is half steel. It is fire type, it is half steel too, so it's fire steel. best elemental fire type, dual type to ever be created. Unfortunately, we never got another fire steel. Maybe we did. Because we did get the water fire type, which is Volcanium, but I'm going to get to that next time. And my Kalos region Pokemon that fight Godzilla, which of course, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, excuse me. And that other one, Volcanium. Because the other ones are too little. They're baby Pokemon like Diancie and the other two Hoopa. Those two would be fucked if they fought with Godzilla. Because they're tiny little baby Pokemon that are legendary, so I'm taking them off the list. Another advantage that Heatran, however you want to pronounce it, would have against Godzilla is that pretty much it can pretty much go underground. It can use Earthquake as much as it want. Godzilla would probably have all the bones shattered in its body. Its vertebrae would be dead. He'd probably be paralyzed from the waist down. And after Heatran's done with that, he could probably use a flash cannon and explode his head off. Blow his fucking head off, and his brain, blood, and guts would be all over the place. Godzilla would be gone within seconds. If he used flash cannon on his head, he's fucked. And Heatran will pretty much be declared the winner. The only two disadvantages Heatran had is it is a lot smaller and tinier than Godzilla. So being slow and Godzilla being quick with his big physical moves, he hits him with his foot. He jabs his big giant claws and his arms through Heatran's big steel-plated neck. He could probably hit a vertebrae and artery and destroy the shit out of Heatran's heart, and Heatran will be dead if Heatran's not fast enough with those fire type moves. That and another thing he could use like an ice beam or a plasma beam thing, or anything a fighting type move against Heatran. Since Heatran is a half steel type, and steel types are very bad, extremely super effective against against fighting type moves, Heatran will be dead and gone. So that's the only two disadvantages that Heatran would have against Godzilla. The other advantages, he would pretty much kick the crap out of Godzilla. If he uses any of the fire, lava, magma type moves, you know? So the last final two, Cresellia and Darkrai. And let me start off with Cresellia, because I already told you about Darkrai before when I did my older versus series with Freddy Krueger Nightmare Moon versus Darkrai and Princess Luna. I think that's what it was, yeah. And somebody else too. I think it was Michael Myers or something. I don't know. And let me get my drink once again. This is probably going to be a 30-minute video, so sorry. If the video's too long, I'm sorry. But yeah, Cresellia and Darkrai. Let's start out with Cresellia. Obviously, you think Cresellia will have 0% advantage towards Godzilla because it's extremely tiny and little, but it's a big enough height to Heatran's height. And if it's big enough to be with Heatran's height, it's got to have strong moves, right? Because I know the big giant signature move it has is Lunar Dance, because it dances in the moon, I think it ends up fainting. So it kind of works like how Memento works, or how Moonlight works, where it gains all its health and energy back, boosting all its speed, special attack, kind of like how Ancient Power does. I think that's what Lunar Dance does. I'm not sure, because I never raised it up to level 100. I only raised it up to level 80 or 90, I think, for my Cresellia. And I had it in Platinum. Excuse me. Sorry, I had a big ass burrito I ate earlier at Taco Bell. That's why I'm a little bloated right now. But yeah, another reason why Cresellia would be a boss and very fucking badass is it has the power to levitate the moon and shit like that, and has the power to control sun because it's the lightness of Pokemon. It's pretty much the angel Jesus Christ, like the Father, Son, Holy Spirit of Pokemon, because Arceus is already God. Arceus will be the father. Arceus would be the father. Giratina would probably be the mega crazy son or whatever that they wish they were not. No, Shaymin. Shaymin would be the son, and Shaymin Skyform would be the son, because, you know, floral sky, obviously, connection. And then the Holy Spirit would be Cresellia. So it's kind of like a little religion, Christianity thing going on, which I don't care. I know I was Christian a lot back in the days, I really don't care too much about it now like I did back then, but I did a lot back then. That's why I'm bringing it up. If you're an atheist, I'm sorry if it offends you, but if not, it is what it is. I'm risking it, you know? But other than that, Cresellia has the power to gravitate the moon, which therefore is able to control gravity. So it could probably tilt the Earth all the way in half and make Godzilla fall out of space. Thus, making Godzilla suffer with lack of oxygen and probably destroy it like that. That's the only way I can see it destroying Godzilla. That, and it has the psychic mental powers. So it's able to destroy its brain and make it mentally crazy like Professor Charles Xavier did in Robot Chicken. And I know that was a parody, that wasn't real, that was fake. If any people know what Robot Chicken episode I'm talking about, you are fucking awesome, because I love the shit out of Robot Chicken. I love that E3 thing they did with Robot Chicken too, but I'm rambling now, so I'm going to shut up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out E3 or the official Nintendo YouTube channel. Not my Nintendo Free channel, but the real one. But yeah, other than that, another reason, sorry I'm moving too much, my back's starting to ache a little bit. Ugh. Okay, so other than that, I will say this, Cresellia has that power and he has a lot of mental psychic. She, because it's all female, she has a psychic power, so she can destroy the bones, the vertebrae, the liver, the heart, the brain. It could attack any main artery, any bones, any guts, any arm, any leg he wants to rip off. She can do that psychically. She could rip its arm off, its leg off, its tail, its head. Anything mentally she can do, she can rip Godzilla into pieces with the mental psychic powers that it has. Only disadvantage, one disadvantage that it has, if it uses like an ice or plasma beam towards or thunder, electricity, lightning beams in his mouth. If he uses that against Cresellia and she's not fast enough to dodge it, she will get hurt and she will die. That's the only disadvantage she would have against Godzilla. If it uses an ice beam move, because obviously it's really bad. Well, it's good against, it's neutral I think against ice beam type moves, but if it gets a frozen like status, then it's fucked. That's the only way Cresellia would have a disadvantage. Other than that, Cresellia would pretty much be the victor here. Mentally it would be, physically no, because I know its attacks, special attacks is shit. Well actually no, special attack is good. Defense, and special defense is perfect. I don't know why I said defense twice. And speed is very quick as shit too. So that's another advantage Cresellia has. And that's all I gotta say about that. Last but not least, you've probably seen it here a million times. It is Cresellia, like I was just talking about. Darkrai. Woo! Darkrai. If any of you people have known me for a while, if you know me in real life, you followed me on Twitter or Facebook, you know how much of a fanboy like Giratina, how I am with Giratina. I am a huge fanboy of how Darkrai was portrayed in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, especially in the movie, The Rise of Darkrai. Beautiful voice actor, whoever did Darkrai's voice, was very intellectual, very amazing, very perfect in every shape, way, and form. He had those weird-ass little, little legs, but I loved it overall. It was perfect, it was beautiful. He was able to learn Dark Void and shit. That was cool as fuck. I loved it when he was able to put Pokemon to sleep. He taunts them in the dreams. In a way, Darkrai is the Freddy Krueger of Pokemon. Because pretty much, you know, Freddy Krueger, if any people have ever seen the movie Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street shit, you know what I'm talking about. Not the new revamp one that came out 3-4 years ago. I'm talking about the old school 80s ones. You know how much of a beast Freddy Krueger is. When the kids go to sleep, Freddy Krueger ends up going into their dreams. He literally, not mentally, but physically, not just mentally and emotionally, physically, he hurts them. He rips their skin off. He slices their faces in half. He cuts them with his freaking, like, stabs them with the knives that he has on his fingers. With that giant, like, glove knife that he always has. He's pretty much the same way Darkrai is, except Darkrai doesn't kill, like, Pokemon, obviously. He's a lower tone, kid-friendly version of Freddy Krueger. That's what Darkrai is. That's how he's always been to me since I first saw him in 07. Way back when Diamond and Pearl came out. And he was even more relevant, especially when Platinum came out. He got a little bit more shine that time. Because Cresellia and Darkrai they didn't focus on until Platinum. On Diamond and Pearl, they kind of put them to the side. They weren't as big. In the Japanese one, they were, but not in the English US version, unfortunately. In Platinum, they were. But I'm rambling now. So yeah, with Darkrai, he's able to learn Dark Void. He has the, what's it called? Bad Dreams ability, where every time a Pokemon gets hurt, they get hurt and taunted in their sleep physically in their dreams, which makes their P get lower and lower. It's kind of like a Sandstorm, Fire Spin version of an ability, if you know what I mean, or Hail, Sunny Day type of thing, if they have dry skin or whatever. But other than that, another reason why big-ass advantage that Darkrai has over Godzilla, he could put it to sleep. If Godzilla is nocturnal, he doesn't have like insomnia, he could put it to sleep. He could taunt in his dreams as much as he wants. He could use Shadow Ball as much as he wants. He could use Shadow Punch. He could use a lot of Dark-type moves, too. He could use Crunch. He's able to learn, what else? Focus Punch. He could punch the living shit out of Godzilla's jaw and rip it in half if he wanted to. So that's an advantage that Darkrai has. He has the ability to put things to sleep and keep them permanently asleep for all eternity. And that is scary as fuck if you think about his Pokedex information. He puts little kids to sleep and he haunts them in their dreams. That shit is fucking scary. Imagine him doing that to a fucking 600-700 foot thing, even though he's like 5'8", 5'10". He's kind of like my height. Like if I were to step up right now, that's how tall he is. But to him having those abilities, he has an advantage to kick Godzilla's out. The only disadvantage I would say is one, if Godzilla gets a hold of him, through his big giant claws, he uses like a Dragon Claw attack or something dragon or Fire Breath against Darkrai or something fighting. He uses any bug fighting type moves, which I know he won't learn because Godzilla isn't a Pokemon. He's a kaiju monster. He rips shit up. If he rips a lot of buildings and he smashes like Darkrai into pieces, if Darkrai doesn't teleport fast enough while those buildings are oncoming to him, or trains, or nuclear bombs, if Godzilla's throwing all this shit and he doesn't dodge it in time, Darkrai's gonna fucking die, pretty much. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Let me see how much I've rambled. At 30 minutes exact, just the exact time I was going to stop this video. So that's pretty much all I had to say. Thank you people for sticking around. I wish I could give you something. I'd probably give you a code card. Matter of fact, if you did make it this long, I might give you one. I don't know. I'll put it down in the link below. But like I always do say, is what it is, ain't what it ain't. See you when I see you. Peace out. See you when I see you guys every day. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink, smoke, weed at the same time. Don't drink the reckless. See you soon. See you around. Peace out, ladies. Goodbye. I'll talk to you guys soon. Late, I'm gone. I'm out of here. And have a good day. Take it easy, deuces. I'm out of here. And you guys take care. Stay safe. Have a good one. And goodbye. I am gone out. And I'll see you next time. Take care and be safe, everybody. Goodbye.